Struggling to hit a powerful jump smash that barely makes a difference in the rally? The problem might not be your strength, it could be your technique. In this video, Olympian Toby Ng breaks down the 4 progressive types of smashes that will help you achieve the perfect smash, from body rotation, weight transfer, to finding the right angles. By the end, you'll know exactly what to change to make your smash faster, harder, and more consistent.
So let me demonstrate. Right? So very kind of basic, right? So a lot of times you see people turn a lot this way and then they do this, right? What you want to make sure you don't do is stepping backwards. So a lot of beginners will kind of get into this position and do this. Stepping forward sometimes also awkward, right? So I'm going to step after I hit, which is fine, but some people do it kind of the same time. You see this kind of switch smash.
We need to initiate the energy transfer from our hip.
Yes.
And then if you initiate from your hip correctly, you still should finish in a similar position and everything else should be correct. When you set the wrong stuff, like all of that, then you're not initiating with your hip.
Yeah. This is something you'll use in the other smashes as well. So when we isolate just on its own, it's a little bit weird, but beginners might be more familiar with it when you're just trying to pick up how to smash.
Are they familiar with it? I actually didn't know this until you just reminded me now. Let me try my normal smash.
Sure.
So I rotate, but I rotate more from my core here and then more upper body. But I want to try one time where I really lead with the hip. Okay, it like automatically wants to swing through a lot more when I just initiate with here.
Yeah. Just one pointer for our viewers is that when you smash as well, make sure the swing goes underneath the left arm. I've seen some people actually get stuck where you're on top of the left arm. And then what happens is you're losing your rotation because now you're blocked. You can't really turn, right? But from here, it's a very natural way to turn, to rotate, right? But if your arm is in the way, then you're gonna always be stuck. So next is weight transfer, right? So we're actually gonna have to move a little bit further back and we actually wanna step in before we smash. So there is a bit of rotation, of course. Think of it like I wanna throw my racket really far, right? You see there's this lean, right? So I can do the same thing with the smash, right? So I can come back more and then do a pretty heavy standing smash. So I load the back foot, step forward, so you can see that weight transfer. And then, so what you don't want to do here is do this and step backwards. So if you step backwards, then your momentum now is going backwards and it's kind of working against you. This is actually good for doubles. If you, let's say, don't want to jump smash, this is still a pretty good heavy smash, right? So I'm here, right? Come back. Right? And you hit a pretty heavy smash. But it will be very flat. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to try it? I want to see if you can do it.
Franklin?
So that's kind of the rotation smash.
He looks like he's about to do a somersault.
Yeah, so he actually demos the first one, the rotation smash, quite well.
But he's not rotating his strength forward. He's rotating.
He isn't.
He's rotating his strength like over the top.
Yeah, so it's just straight like rotation. Let's do half smash, and we're gonna try and get some more angle. So
what do you mean by half smash? Just 70% power or half a smash?
That's a good question. I say half smash, which would technically be like a 50% smash, but it's not 50%.
Yeah.
It's probably close to like 80%, but it's not full power smash. So you may not beat people on this one shot, but it will give you a very good follow-up most of the time.
And when we do a half smash, is it just a smash at 80% or do we do like a tap like that?
So when I half smash, I actually will follow through and hit it like a normal stroke. That way I can kind of go easier on my shoulder and then I can still be ready in time for something else.
I can see the argument of why people do this stick smash, but show us the half smash first. That's your half smash?
Yeah. So what I want to do for getting in position here is, especially on the forehand side, is I do want to step and then give myself a little bounce on the back foot. That way I can get a little bit more height without having to jump. Obviously, it's easier to jump and do it, but sometimes if you want to do a standing smash and get a little bit more height, then you can get a little bit of extra height to reach up and your contact point changes just slightly. Your goal is angle, so you don't want to hit it too hard because the harder you hit it, the more likely it'll stay at whatever trajectory. What we want to do is, again, hit it a little bit earlier and hit it softer. On the backhand side, you can actually be a bit late and then you can still do a toe up, but you will step back. So we show a variation on the other side. Yeah, so again, the focus here is, again, not a full swing. And then if you need a little bit extra height, forehand side, little bit of a bounce step. Do you want to try it?
Sure.
It looks okay. Good.
Jump smash. What do you mean by jump smash?
Full jump smash.
Full jump smash. But what if we're just jumping like this? Is that also a jump smash? Or it has to be like
full jump
arched?
smash with the leg tuck.
Okay.
Footwork is going to be the most important, but you need to adjust, and then you want that set the rebound. So I'm going to bounce before I, plant before I jump, so I give myself a little bit of chance to jump.
Okay.
So it should look kind of like here, and then I can jump. Or on the other side, I have to pivot, and then together. So this is the loading part, and this is kind of just like a standing jump as well. It actually might help to use your arms, right? So it actually gives you a little bit of height.
So is the objective of the jump smash to generate angle or power?
So because you're in midair, you don't get the same ground reaction force. So then I would say most of your power comes from rotational force. So you want to be able to jump so you can get that full turn.
Well, I don't want to jump smash. You can coach Franklin how to do a better jump smash.
Yeah, so he's kind of like not moving very well. So then he's jumping in a weird direction and he's landing in a weird direction.
But
so
even if he was in the perfect position, I think he'd still do the same thing. When you smash, your jump smash, everything feels solid. Okay, I'll try to serve like a perfect position for you. Where do you want it? Where do you want to land?
Right, so you see he actually went back this way first. He's like facing the other person. Whereas I would go back and then make sure like my shoulder is pointing forward.
Yeah.
Right, then I can actually set up for a perfect rotation, right? He's kind of here, and then now he's gonna lose rotational.
So how can he start it properly?
So usually one shuffle, and then set up together before you jump. Just try the forward. Back up, back up. Right, so right away, you can see his feet are already pointing together. Okay, let me try one. Let's show difference.
Can you do it? Oh yeah, one more. Ah, that was more compact.
Okay, let's try one more. I'll do one more.
Anyways.
You want to try?
No, I don't want that.
Bonus tips. Okay, so holding the racket near the end is going to be the best, right? You get the maximum lever length, so physics.
Also,
right?
you don't interrupt the rackets into your forearm.
Yeah, so some people, if they use their wrist, then it might get stuck. If you kind of pronate, then it shouldn't really be a problem, even if you're up here. But again, you're just doing a lot more work, then let the racket do some of the work.
Okay, and another question. When we're here, do we feel we use our fingers or do we just feel we use our wrist?
That's a good question, actually. So I like to try and be as relaxed as I can before I hit. There's different strategies to do this, but when you can relax on the top before you hit, then you can kind of squeeze and then get everything to come together.
Okay.
Where I squeeze is actually kind of hard to determine, right? Because you have to add a little bit of tension before you hit it. But I mean, it's pretty close to when you're going to hit. You need your fingers for like those really like tight net shots, like you can like spin the shuttle back over the net. And then the last thing, which is interesting, is one way to help you with relaxing and then finding the right tension is with breathing, right? So when you smash, it's actually better to exhale. So sometimes the pros will actually like exhale when they hit, right? This is gonna be in tennis as well, when you serve, probably, right?
So now that you learned how to hit the different types of smashes and how to do them, and you got bonus tips, and you saw Franklin do them completely wrong, you have a pretty good baseline of what good and bad smashes are. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and check out the next video over here.